Hi, I'm Alison Bryant. I'm the president and founder of PlayScience and Playlab. I mean, this is a generation that is platform agnostic. They don't see the differences between technology. I mean, that's why you hear a lot of anecdotes about the kids walking up to the big screen TV in the house and starting to swipe it and the parents freaking out because it's a $4,000 TV. So they do, the tablets and the touch-based technology is more intuitive. And so I think that's why we've definitely seen a huge amount of adoption in the kids space. I mean, we're now over 50% of kids have tablets in the home, and that's higher than you have for the average household that doesn't have kids. So I think there's definitely something about the technology that we're seeing kids sort of grab it, but they don't really care where they're getting stuff, right? So for example, if they want to play with Dora, they don't care if they're playing with Dora on a computer or if they're playing on a tablet per se. They just want to play with Dora. So again, it gives us some opportunities, I think, as entertainment creators and as narrative creators to really build content and property and characters across platforms that kids can enjoy and really increase our market share that way. I mean, we're talking about over half of kids nationally, well over half, are e-reading. And of those, almost 90% are e-reading on a weekly basis, right? So there's a lot of e-reading going on, and this is still relatively early on. When you think particularly with the tablets and the e-readers, it's still relatively early on in this cycle. So I think we've seen a massive increase in e-reading. I think that's really interesting. I think the other is the value that parents place on books, whether they're print or digital, right? So they see digital books, for example, as 40% more valuable than an app. That's interesting, right? So there's an inherent value still in that book. Now it's less valuable than a print book, just to be clear, but there's an inherent value in the book form, whether it's done digitally or print, that parents are seeing. And I think that we need to be thinking a little bit more about that. I think there's been a lot of fear, quite honestly, in the publishing industry about digital, but if we can leverage the fact that parents still see more value in published things than in, let's say, an interactive game, then we're going to have some really interesting spaces to move. But I think we're definitely at the beginning of understanding really where does an ebook and an application, whatever that means, where does ebook and interactivity maybe is a better way to put it, where do those intersect? I mean, one of the key things that a lot of research that's starting to come out from the academic world and from places like the Cooney Center is that we do have to be careful about interrupting reading, right? If we're really still looking at reading as an important fundamental, which we are for kids, then we need to make sure that we're not constantly throwing interactivity at them because it's going to take away from learning, right, or reading. So I think we need to be doing it in ways that are, again, additive and integrative and not gratuitous. And I think that's where we're still figuring that out with kids, because I think that the de facto and the default is, I'm just going to throw a game on that, and that doesn't necessarily enhance the reading experience. So we're getting there, but I think we still have some ways to go.